What if a fruit existed that was, well, incredibly ancient, globally adored, and so unbelievably adaptable that it could inspire an emerald spectrum of culinary creations?
Hmm.
We're not just talking about something you slice for toast here. This is a fruit that's botanically a berry, has a history really closely linked with extinct giants, and is actually rapidly becoming the most traded fruit in the world.
Right.
You might think you know it, but get ready to truly understand the avocado.
It's a really compelling journey, actually. This isn't just about, a green fruit. It's a story of evolution, human ingenuity, and some quite surprising cultural transformations.
Exactly.
We often overlook the profound history hidden within our everyday foods.
We really do. Today, our deep dive takes us right into the wondrous world of the avocado, Persea americana,
Mm.
from its ancient origins and surprising botanical classification to its complex cultivation challenges and incredible nutritional profile. We'll try to uncover every facet of this beloved green marvel.
And here's where it gets really interesting.
Yes. We're also exploring an unprecedented range of 22 distinct avocado preservation techniques. Our sources describe this as unlocking a, quote, complete spectrum of emerald excellence, where each method transforms the fruit into unique culinary art.
It's quite a claim, isn't it?
Hmm.
Our exploration is guided by a pretty comprehensive look at scientific and historical insights from a detailed Wikipedia entry on the avocado, alongside a truly fascinating culinary guide titled Avocado's Emerald Spectrum, 22 Culinary Preservations.
And we'll also touch on its place in the broader world of fruit spreads, as highlighted by the shrimp boat spread M.
Right, connecting the dots there.
So our mission today is to equip you, our curious listener, with a truly encyclopedic understanding of the avocado, not just what it is, but its profound history, its global impact, and crucially, how its unique properties allow for this astonishing array of culinary transformations. You'll gain practical knowledge and, honestly, a treasure trove of aha moments that will forever change how you view this fruit, moving far beyond your morning avocado toast.
Indeed. We aim to illuminate the avocado in a way that really reveals its extraordinary nature and its potential.
Let's begin by establishing its core identity and origins. Most of us simply call it avocado, but you might also hear alligator pear or avocado pear, with its scientific designation being Persea americana.
Right. And it isn't just a fruit. It's the product of an evergreen tree belonging to the laurel family, the Lauraceae.
The laurel family, like bay leaves.
Exactly, that same family. What's particularly striking about the avocado's identity is its native range. It truly has deep roots in the Americas, originating in regions stretching all the way from Mexico down to Peru, encompassing Central America and significant portions of northern and western South America.
Wow, that's a huge area.
It is. And historically, it was revered precisely for its unusually large and remarkably oily fruit. Those qualities made it a prized commodity long, long before its global spread.
And from those ancient roots, it has just become a global phenomenon. Avocados are now cultivated in tropical and Mediterranean climates literally across the globe.
They really are everywhere now.
But even with worldwide production, Mexico, as of 2023, remains the undisputed leader, supplying a staggering 29% of the 10.5 million tons harvested globally.
29%. That's enormous.
It really is.
Mexico's continued dominance really underscores the avocado's immense economic and, well, cultural significance, especially in its region of origin. This rich heritage is a thread that runs through its entire story.
Now, for a detail that often surprises people. You might assume you know what constitutes a fruit, but the avocado kind of challenges conventional definitions. Botanically speaking, it's not a drupe like a peach or an olive.
Right, not a stone fruit.
Instead, it's classified as a large, single-seeded berry. A berry.
A berry. It sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? The key to this classification lies in its imperceptible endocarp, which is the innermost layer covering the seed.
Okay, break that down. Imperceptible endocarp.
Sure. So imagine the hard, woody pit inside a cherry or a plum. That's a very clear, distinct endocarp, right?
Yeah, the stone.
Exactly. Now, if that hard layer were so soft and blended so seamlessly with the fruit's surrounding flesh that you couldn't really distinguish it as a separate layer, well, that's essentially what happens with an avocado. It's a fleshy, integrated layer, a characteristic it shares with other true berries, like tomatoes or grapes, actually.
Ah, I never thought of it that way.
And it gets more complex. Genome sequencing has shown that avocado evolution was shaped by ancient polyploidy events, where an organism ends up with more than two sets of chromosomes.
Polyploidy, like in wheat.
Similar concept, yes.
Mm-hmm.
This has contributed significantly to its genetic diversity, and commercial varieties in particular often have a hybrid origin. This hybrid vigor is crucial for their adaptability and, their unique characteristics that growers select for.
Fascinating. And the tree itself, I picture them as quite large.
They can be substantial. It could reach heights of 9 to 20 meters, that's about 30 to 66 feet, with a trunk diameter of maybe zero point 0.3 to zero point 0.6 meters, roughly 1 to 2 feet across. Its leaves are alternately arranged along the branches and typically measure between 8 and 25 centimeters long.
So decent shade trees, too.
Oh, absolutely. And the flowers, though they're small and often unnoticed, are quite intricate in their structure and sheer numbers. The tree produces literally thousands every year.
Thousands. Wow.
Yeah, typically only 5–10 millimeters wide, sprouting in clusters called panicles or racemes from new growth or the leaf axils. They don't have true petals like, say, a rose, but possess two whorls of 3 pale green or greenish-yellow downy perianthlobes.
Perianthlobes.
But what's also unique is that each blossom has 9 stamens, the male parts, equipped with 2 basal orange nectar glands at their base.
Yeah.
This complex floral structure is actually fundamental to its distinctive pollination system, which we should definitely touch on later. It's quite clever.
Definitely want to hear about that. Moving to the fruit itself, the star of our show, a typical avocado measures, what, 720 centimeters long?
Roughly, yes, and can weigh anywhere from 100 grams, which is quite small, up to a hefty 1,000 grams, or a kilogram.
That's over 2 pounds.
Exactly. That prominent central seed is usually 6.4 centimeters long. But what's truly remarkable, when you look back, is that early wild avocados, before significant human intervention, had much smaller seeds, only about 2.1–2.2 centimeters in diameter.
Which likely meant much smaller fruit overall, right? Less flesh.
Precisely. That size difference dramatically highlights the profound impact of human selective breeding over millennia. Through centuries of careful cultivation, our ancestors intentionally selected for larger, fleshier fruits with thinner exocarps or outer skins, ultimately shaping the avocado into the form we recognize today.
So we literally engineered the modern avocado.
In a way, yes, through selection. The flesh of modern domestic varieties is typically smooth, buttery, and that beautiful golden green when ripe. And while the Hass avocado might seem uniform because it dominates the market, the skin color can actually vary widely among different cultivars, from green to brown, purplish, or even black, and their shapes can be pear-shaped, egg-shaped, or sometimes perfectly spherical.
And they don't ripen on the tree, you mentioned.
Correct. Commercially, fruits are almost always picked unripe, hard and green, and then ripened post-harvest. This is because the avocado is a climacteric fruit. It matures fully on the tree, but crucially ripens only after being removed.
Like bananas or tomatoes.
Exactly like bananas or tomatoes. This characteristic is absolutely vital for global distribution, allowing them to be shipped long distances while still firm.
Makes sense. This brings us to a truly fascinating piece of its history, the avocado's evolution and this megafaunal mystery.
Ah, yes, this is a great story. The species was first scientifically named Persea americana by the British botanist Philip Miller back in 1768. The genus Persea itself is thought to have originated in North America and then diversified in Central America during the Pleistocene epoch.
The Ice Age.
During that period, yes. Our modern avocado species is estimated to have speciated or become distinct somewhere around 1.3 million or perhaps 430,000 years ago.
And the megafauna connection.
Right, this is where it gets genuinely captivating. There's the evolutionary anachronism and megafaunal dispersal syndrome theory, most notably explored by Connie Barlow, building on earlier ideas from scientists like Paul S. Martin and Daniel H. Jansen.
Okay, what's the core idea?
The theory suggests that large-seeded fruits, like avocados, co-evolved with now extinct megafauna giant mammals for seed dispersal. Imagine colossal creatures such as gomphothers, which were ancient elephant relatives, or giant ground sloths, maybe toxodontids and glyptodonts.
Like giant armadillos.
Exactly. Imagine these huge animals consuming these large avocado fruits whole, digesting the flesh, and then dispersing the large seeds unharmed across vast distances in their droppings.
So the avocado needed these giants to spread.
That's the hypothesis. Without these magnificent animals, the avocado, with its big seed, might have faced significant challenges in spreading its progeny naturally over wide areas. The seed is just too big for most smaller animals to swallow whole or carry far.
It's a vivid picture, isn't it? Almost like something out of a prehistoric nature documentary.
It really is.
Yeah.
However, this theory also has its critics, it's fair to say.
Oh.
Some researchers argue that many large-seeded fruits are, in fact, effectively dispersed by non-megafaunal animals, both historically and even today. For example, living agoutis, which are large rodents, and even spectacled bears, have been observed actively dispersing avocado seeds in contemporary ecosystems. They might gnaw the fruit and carry the seed off.
So maybe the giants weren't the only way.
Possibly. The truth of its dispersal mechanisms is likely a more complex interplay of various factors, maybe including water dispersal in some areas too. So while the megafauna theory offers a compelling narrative, it might not be the whole story. What remains undisputed, though, is the role of humans. Human artificial selection played a crucial role, leading to the larger, fleshier fruits with thinner skins that we enjoy today, long before the Columbian Exchange. Our ancestors were actively shaping this fruit for millennia.
So humans picked up where the megafauna maybe left off?
Or perhaps alongside them, and then became the primary selecting force. The story of human interaction with the avocado stretches back incredibly far in time, evidenced by remarkable archaeological discoveries.
How far back are we talking?
The oldest known avocado remains, showing clear signs of human consumption, were found at Huaca Prieta, a pre-ceramic site on the northern coast of Peru. And these date back an astonishing 10,500 years ago.
10,500 years?
Yes, it indicates human consumption of avocados even earlier than previously thought. It predates findings at Coxcatlan Caves in Mexico, which were once considered the oldest, dating around 9,000 to 10,000 years ago.
Wow.
And further evidence comes from the Norte Chico civilization at Caballo Muerto, also in Peru, where avocado remains date from 3,800 to 4,500 years ago.
So we're talking about a truly ancient food source deeply embedded in early human societies across the Americas.
Absolutely. The traditional belief is that its domestication originated in the Tehuacan Valley in Puebla, Mexico. And our sources identify three major domesticated avocado land races, sort of like distinct breeds.
Lundgren.
Yes, geographically distinct populations. There's the Guatemalan, known in Nahuatl as Kiloacatl, the Mexican or Oacatl, and the West Indian, called Tlacacolocatl. These distinct types originated in separate ecological regions and were already intermingling across pre-Columbian America through trade and travel.
So different types were already being cultivated way back then.
Correct. The earliest known European written account of the avocado comes from Martin Fernández de Enciso in 1519, not long after Columbus. This was followed by a more detailed and unequivocal description by Gonzalo Fernández de Oviedo y Valdés in 1526.
And the name avocado didn't come from them.
No, the term avocado in English was actually coined much later by Hans Sloane, an Irish naturalist, in 1696 in a catalog of Jamaican plants.
Okay, and the etymology. The origin of the word itself takes us on quite a linguistic journey, doesn't it?
It really does. Avocado comes from the Spanish word aguacate, which in turn derives directly from the Nahuatl word aguacatl.
Right, the language of the Aztecs. Now, there's a widely circulating popular culture claim, you hear it all the time, that avocatl originally meant testicle.
Ah, yes, that one. Our sources clarify that this isn't quite accurate. Aguacatl was primarily the word for avocado in Nahuatl. It was then apparently used as a euphemism or slang term for testicle, likely due to the shape and the way they hang in pairs on the tree.
Ah, okay. So avocado first, euphemism second.
Exactly, rather than the other way around. The English word itself evolved from earlier forms like avogato or avocado, then morphed into avocado pear, eventually settling on avocado pear, attested around 1697. And sometimes it was even corrupted to alligator pear, maybe because of the bumpy green skin of some varieties.
Alligator pear, I've had that one.
Regionally, the names continue to vary, reflecting its widespread adoption across different cultures. It's still commonly called aguacate in Central America, many Caribbean Spanish-speaking countries, and Spain.
But not everywhere in South America.
No, in South American nations like Argentina, Chile, Peru, and Uruguay, a Quechua-derived word, palta, is used. In Portuguese, spoken in Brazil, it becomes abacate.
And avo, I hear that a lot.
Yes. The clipped form avo is common in Australian English, also in South Africa and the UK. And interestingly, in parts of India and Hong Kong, it's sometimes known as butterfruit, which really speaks to its texture.
Butterfruit, I like that.
It's also interesting to note that even in California and Florida, it was commonly referred to as aguacate, an alligator pear, right up until 1915. It was the California Avocado Association that made a concerted, successful marketing effort to popularize the name avocado.
Smart branding. This fruit has truly made its way around the world since those early encounters.
Absolutely. Its global introduction started with Spain importing it back in 1601. Then it reached Indonesia around 1750, Mauritius in 1780, Brazil in 1809, and the U.S. mainland, probably Florida, in 1825.
So relatively late to the U.S. mainland.
Comparatively, yes. South Africa and Australia saw its arrival in the late 19th century, and it even reached the Ottoman Empire, modern-day Turkey, in 1908. Specifically, within the U.S., it reached Florida and Hawaii by 1833 and California, the future powerhouse, by 1856.
And we even have pre-Inca art depicting it.
Yes, quite beautifully. There's a water jar shaped like an avocado dating from around 8900, discovered in the ancient city of Chan Chan in Peru. It perfectly illustrates its deep cultural significance long before Europeans arrived.
An amazing history. Let's shift now to modern cultivation. What does it take to grow these trees successfully today?
Well, the avocado, being a subtropical species, demands very specific environmental conditions. It really thrives in climates that are entirely free of frost and, importantly, have very low wind.
Why low winds specifically?
High winds are particularly detrimental. They reduce humidity around the tree, they can dehydrate the delicate flowers, and they severely impact pollination success by bees and other insects. Even a relatively mild frost can cause premature fruit drop, which is obviously bad for yields.
But there must be some variation in cold tolerance.
Oh, definitely. There's a range of resilience among cultivars. The globally popular Hass, for instance, can tolerate temperatures down to about -1 degree Celsius or 30 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's pretty good for a subtropical plant.
It is. And our sources highlight that several even more cold-hardy varieties, planted experimentally in Gainesville, Florida, have survived temperatures as low as -6.5 Celsius, or about 20 Fahrenheit, with only minor leaf damage. Certain Guatemalan varieties like MacArthur, Rincon, or Nabal are noted for their ability to withstand temperatures down to about -1.6 Celsius. This spectrum of hardiness is really key factor in expanding its potential cultivation zones.
And what about soil? Are they picky?
They prefer well-aerated soils, ideally over a meter deep. They don't like wet feet or compacted soil. However, this need for good conditions leads us to a crucial point, and it raises an important question for consumers everywhere. What's the environmental cost of growing this increasingly popular fruit, particularly regarding water?
Ah, yes. The water footprint. I've heard it's significant.
It is. According to data from the Water Footprint Network, it takes an average of approximately 70 liters. That's about 18 U.S. gallons of applied fresh ground or surface water to grow just one avocado.
70 liters for one fruit. And that's applied water, meaning not rain.
Correct. That's irrigation water, distinct from natural rainfall or existing soil moisture. It's water actively added by the growers, and regional variations are stark.
How so?
Our sources highlight that in Chile, another major avocado growing region, the water requirements are significantly higher, demanding about 320 liters, or 85 U.S. gallons, of applied water per avocado.
Wow, that's over 4 times the average.
It is. To give that context, the water demands for growing avocados are, on average, 3 times higher than for growing apples and a staggering 18 times higher than for growing tomatoes.
18 times more than tomatoes. That really puts it into perspective.
It does. And this escalating demand and intensified production of avocados are causing documented severe water shortages in major production areas, like the Mexican state of Michoacan we mentioned earlier.
And the impacts aren't just about water levels.
No, the environmental and socioeconomic impacts are substantial. They include illegal deforestation to clear land for new orchards, which has its own set of ecological consequences, and intensifying water disputes among communities and between agricultural and residential users.
A complex issue.
Very. Furthermore, climate change is projected to exacerbate these issues. Shifting weather patterns could alter suitable growing zones, and increased frequency of heat waves and droughts will place additional pressure on current cultivation areas. It's a complex situation where our dietary choices have very real global impacts on resources and communities.
That truly makes you consider the bigger picture behind every single avocado you buy. Let's move on to how these fruits are harvested and handled after picking. You mentioned yields vary.
Yes, commercial orchards typically average about 7 tons per hectare each year, but some highly efficient operations can reach up to 20 tons per hectare. However, a common challenge growers face is something called biennial bearing.
Biennial bearing, like every other year.
Essentially, yes. It's a tendency for the tree to produce a very heavy crop in one year, which often depletes its resources, followed by a significantly poorer yield the next year. Growers try various techniques to manage this cycle.
And reminding us about the ripening.
Right, like bananas, avocados are classified as a climacteric fruit. This means they will mature on the tree, but crucially only ripen after they've been picked.
So commercial handling must be key.
Absolutely. For commercial purposes, Fruits are harvested while still hard and green, then typically kept in cool storage, around 3.3 to 5.6 degrees Celsius, or 38 to 42 Fahrenheit, until they reach their intended market or ripening facility.
And they have to be mature when picked.
Yes, that's vital. They must be physiologically mature when picked to ensure proper ripening later. Immature fruits simply won't soften correctly or develop good flavor. Mexican hossa growers, for example, often use dry matter content as an indicator, typically picking when it exceeds 23%. Once picked and brought to room temperature, avocados will usually ripen within 1 to 2 weeks.
Is there any way to speed that up at home? Mine always seem to take forever or ripen all at once.
Ah, the classic avocado dilemma. A simple trick is to place avocados in a paper bag, maybe with an apple or a banana. These fruits naturally release ethylene gas, a plant hormone, which significantly hastens the ripening process of the avocado.
The paper bag traps the gas.
Exactly. Supermarkets, of course, utilize synthetic ethylene gas in large-scale, controlled ripening rooms to achieve consistent ripeness for consumers.
And someone pioneered this.
Yes, this industry standard of using ethylene gas ripening rooms was actually pioneered in the 1980s by a farmer named Gil Henry in Escondido, California. He apparently noticed consumers were constantly squeezing unripe avocados in stores and damaging them, so he innovated this method to get perfectly ripe fruit into their hands more reliably.
A game changer for the industry, I bet.
It fundamentally transformed the avocado market, making ripe avocados much more accessible year-round. Another interesting aspect of avocado cultivation is that, in certain cases, the mature fruits can actually be left hanging on the tree for several months after reaching maturity without ripening.
Really? They just wait.
Yes, this provides commercial growers with valuable flexibility in timing their harvests to meet market demand or wait for better prices. Though, if left unpicked for too long, they will eventually ripen slightly and fall naturally.
Okay, let's explore breeding and propagation. You mentioned pollination was tricky.
It is, because avocados are only partly able to self-pollinate due to a fascinating phenomenon called dichogamy.
Dichogamy, what's that?
It means that the male and female phases of the flower occur at different times of day. This functional separation limits self-pollination within a single flower or even a single tree sometimes. This limitation, coupled with a long juvenile period, it can take years before a seedling tree bears fruit, makes breeding new varieties through traditional cross-pollination quite challenging and time-consuming.
So how does this dichogamy work exactly?
What's particularly intricate here is the precise timing of the two main flowering types, known as A and B cultivars.
A and B types.
Yes. A cultivar flowers examples include Haas, Gwen, or Reed, open as functionally female in the morning of the first day, receptive to pollen, then they close in the afternoon. They reopen as functionally male, shedding pollen, in the afternoon of the second day.
Okay, female, morning day 1, male, afternoon day 2.
Exactly. In contrast, B varieties like Fuerte, Zutano, or Bacon do the opposite. They open as female in the afternoon of the first day, close overnight, and then reopen as male the following morning.
Afternoon female, morning male. It's like a timed dance.
It really is. This carefully synchronized but temporally separated timing means that planting both A and B type cultivars near each other can significantly improve cross-pollination, as pollen is available when the other type's flowers are receptive, leading to much better fruit set and overall yields.
Clever nature. So how do growers get consistent fruit if breeding is hard?
To ensure consistent fruit quality and characteristics, virtually all commercial cultivars are propagated by grafting.
Grafting. Taking a piece of one tree and putting it on another.
Precisely. This involves taking a cutting or bud from a desired tree, known as the scion, which determines the fruit type, like Haas, and attaching it onto a rootstock, which forms the root system. This method is essential because avocado seedlings grown from seed don't produce fruit identical to the parent plant. They're genetically variable. Grafting is the only reliable way to maintain specific varietal characteristics generation after generation.
And the rootstock matters too.
Oh, absolutely. Rootstocks, whether they are grown from seedlings or are clonal, genetically identical copies, are often selected for specific traits, such as tolerance to poor soil aeration, salinity, or, very importantly, resistance to prevalent diseases like the devastating Phytophthora cinnamomum root rot.
So you match the scion you want with the tough rootstock.
That's the goal. And looking to the future of conservation, advances in cryopreservation, freezing biological material at very low temperatures of somatic embryos, offer a crucial method to conserve avocado genetic diversity.
Why is that needed?
Because avocado seeds are recalcitrant. They don't store well long-term in traditional seed banks, like seeds of corn or beans do. Cryopreservation of embryos provides a way to safeguard the vast genetic range of the species for future breeding programs.
Interesting. And what about those tiny seedless avocados you sometimes see?
Ah, yes, the cupes or cocktail avocados. These occur naturally when blossoms aren't pollinated properly. They develop into small, elongated fruits without a viable seed. They're usually discarded commercially because of their size, but are sometimes marketed as a novelty item. Their small size, stoneless nature, and often edible skin make them kind of unique.
Could you grow one at home from a pit?
You absolutely can. For those of you with a green thumb, you can germinate avocado pits, either suspended in water with toothpicks or planted directly in soil. It's a fun project.
But does it fruit?
It can, but you need patience. It usually takes about 4 to 6 years for a grafted tree to bear fruit. But a tree grown from a seedling pit might take much longer, sometimes up to 10 years or even more, and the fruit quality might be unpredictable. Plus, they need ample sunlight.
So it's a long game.
It is. A faster way to get fruit on your homegrown tree is to graft a branch, a scion, from a known fruit-bearing plant onto your seedling once it's established. This can significantly speed up the time to maturity, allowing you to potentially enjoy homegrown avocados much sooner.
Good tip. Let's discuss global production and some of the broader societal impacts. Are there major pests or diseases growers battle?
Yes, unfortunately, avocado trees are susceptible to a range of issues. These include bacterial, viral, fungal, and nutritional diseases, which can manifest as spotting on leaves or fruit, rotting, and cankers on the branches or trunk. The pyriform scale insect is also a significant pest in many regions, particularly noted in Peru, where it can cause substantial crop damage by feeding on the plant's sap.
Now, Mexico. We know it's the largest producer.
By far. As we established, it supplies a considerable 29% of the global harvest in 2023. Major producing states include Mexico State, Morelos, Nayarit, Puebla, and especially Michoacán, which alone accounts for a striking 86% of the total Mexican production. It's truly the heartland.
But there are complex issues there too, aren't there?
Yes, our sources highlight a troubling aspect, and we need to report this impartially based on the information provided. Organized crime, specifically drug cartels, are implicated in what has been termed the blood guacamole phenomenon.
What does that involve?
It involves the cartels allegedly extorting protection fees from avocado farmers in regions like Michoacán. Reports cited in our sources suggest these fees can be quite high, potentially around 2,000 Mexican pesos per hectare, plus an additional 1 to 3 pesos per kilogram of harvested food. This adds a layer of danger and economic pressure for the growers.
That's a serious situation.
It is. And Uruapan, a city in Michoacán, often claims the title of avocado capital, highlighting the intense concentration of the industry there.
What about California? That's the main U.S. source, right?
Correct. In California, USA, avocados were introduced from Nicaragua way back in the early 1850s and have since become a major agricultural commodity, particularly in the southern part of the state. As of 2015, approximately 80% of U.S. avocado production originated there, covering an area of about 24,000 hectares or 59,000 acres.
And it's the state fruit.
Yes, the avocado holds the distinction of being the official state fruit of California. And interestingly, the city of Fallbrook also proudly asserts itself as the avocado capital of the world, creating a bit of friendly, or perhaps not so friendly, rivalry with Uruapan for that title.
2 avocado capitals.
Seems so. Key industry organizations like the California Avocado Commission, the California Avocado Society, and major distributors like Calavo Growers play significant roles in the cultivation, promotion, and distribution of avocados across the U.S. market.
And Peru. You mentioned them as a major player too.
Yes, Peru has become a major producer of the Hass variety, particularly in its central and western coastal regions. It has risen to become the largest supplier of avocados to the European Union and the second largest supplier to both Asia and the U.S.
What makes Peru so suitable?
Its climate. Peru benefits from mild, stable temperatures year-round due to its proximity to the equator, combined with the moderating influence of the cool Pacific Ocean currents. This creates ideal growing conditions for avocados. The Peruvian Avocado Commission is also very active in promoting the country's high-quality produce on the international stage.
Okay, and Chile, another South American giant.
Chile has a long history of avocado production, spanning over 100 years, but saw a dramatic increase in output starting in the 1980s, really driven by rising global demand, especially for Hass.
But water is an issue there too.
Yes. Similar to the concerns raised about Mexico, there are significant water concerns reported in Chile related to avocado farming. Our sources state, and again we report this impartially, that large avocado growers are draining the country's groundwater and rivers faster than they can replenish themselves. This highlights a serious environmental challenge linked to the industry's expansion there.
That's a recurring theme, unfortunately. What variety do they focus on?
Overwhelmingly, Hass. 88% of Chile's total avocado production and virtually 99% of its exports are Hass avocados. About 30% of their production serves the domestic market. And thanks to various free trade agreements, Chilean avocados benefit from facing no import tariffs when entering major markets like China, the US, or the EU, which helps their competitiveness.
Let's quickly highlight a few specific cultivars that illustrate the diversity within the avocado family, maybe touching on those A and B flowering types again.
Good idea. Among the A cultivars, known for being female in the morning on day one, we have Choquette. It's a seedling that originated in Miami, prized for its large fruit, good eating quality, and decent disease resistance, so it's widely propagated in South Florida.
Okay.
Then there's Gwen, which is actually a seedling cross between Hass and another variety called Phil. Developed in 1982, it's known for being higher yielding and having a more dwarfing growth habit than Hass itself. It produces an oval fruit, maybe 100-200 grams, with a nutty flavor and finely pebbled dull green skin when ripe. It's also fairly frost-hardy, down to about -1 degrees.
And Hass itself, the big one.
Of course, the Hass cultivar stands as the most common worldwide, accounting for roughly 80% of all cultivated avocados. It's quite remarkable. Every single Hass tree in the world descends genetically from that one single mother tree grown by Rudolf Hass in La Habra Heights, California. He patented it in 1935. Sadly, that original tree succumbed to root rot and died in 2002.
Wow, one tree started it all. Any other notable A-types?
Yes. Lula is another Miami seedling, likely a cross between Guatemalan and Mexican types. Recognized for its excellent flavor and high oil content, commercially propagated in Florida. Maluma is a relatively newer cultivar, discovered as a chance seedling of unknown parentage in South Africa in the early 1990s. Pinkerton is a Hass X Rincon seedling from the early 1970s in California, producing large fruit with a small seed, good flavor, high oil content, and it peels exceptionally well. And Reed, a chance seedling found in 1948 in California, yields large, round, green fruit with smooth, delicate, slightly nutty flesh. Its skin stays green when ripe.
Okay, so quite a few important A-types. What about the B cultivars, the ones that are female in the afternoon?
For B cultivars, the historically significant one is Fuerte. It was actually the dominant commercial variety in the U.S. for the first half of the 20th century before Hass took over. It was commercialized from budwood collected in Atlisco, Mexico back in 1911.
So Fuerte came first commercially.
Yes. Another notable B type is Charwell. It was developed in Queensland, Australia in the 1950s by two gentlemen, James Cockburn Wilson and Frank Victor Sharperdrummy. The name Charwell is a portmanteau of their surnames. It's believed to have originated from Guatemalan stock.
Clever naming.
Our sources also briefly mention other cultivars, some historical like Spinks, and others like Challenge, Dickinson, Kist, Queen, Ray, Royal, Sharpless, and Taft, just highlighting the rich legacy and diversity of avocado breeding over the years.
It's clear there's more than just Hass out there. What's the future look like for the international market?
Well, a 2024 market analysis mentioned in our sources projects a significant increase in global avocado exports over the next 5 years or so. It predicts that as many as 30 countries could potentially become major producers. This continued growth trajectory could position the avocado to become the world's most traded fruit by the year 2030.
The most traded fruit globally, ahead of bananas.
That's the projection. It underscores its escalating global economic importance and seemingly unstoppable consumer appeal.
Incredible. Now let's turn our attention to the avocado as a truly versatile fruit, exploring its health benefits, safety considerations, and fundamental culinary characteristics. This is where we begin to appreciate its true powerhouse status in our diets.
Absolutely. From a nutritional standpoint, raw avocado flesh is remarkably dense in nutrients. Looking at a standard 100-gram serving, it's composed of approximately 73% water, about 15% fat, 9% carbohydrates, and 2% protein. The serving delivers about 670 kilojoules, or 160 kilocalories of energy.
And vitamins and minerals.
It's particularly rich in certain micronutrients. It's considered an excellent source, meaning it provides 20% or more of the daily value DV of pantothenic acid, vitamin B5, providing 28% DV, and vitamin K at 20% DV.
B5 and K, okay.
It also offers moderate amounts, which is defined as between 10 and 19% DV of vitamin C, vitamin E, and potassium. Beyond those, avocados contain important phytonutrients like phytosterols and carotenoids, including lutein and zeaxanthin, which are great for eye health, along with about 76 milligrams of beta-sitosterol per 100-gram serving.
And the fat. That's what avocados are famous for, isn't it? The good fat.
Exactly. Roughly 75% of an avocado's energy content comes from fat, but crucially, most of that fat, about 67% of the total fat, is healthy monounsaturated fat, primarily in the form of oleic acid, the same type found in olive oil.
Ah, okay.
Other predominant fats include palmitic acid, a saturated fat, and linoleic acid, an omega-6 polyunsaturated fat.
Yeah.
Overall, saturated fat makes up only about 14% of the total fat content. So typically, the fatty acid breakdown is roughly 1% omega-3, 14% omega-6, a substantial 71% omega-9, mostly oleic acid, and that 14% saturated fat. It's a truly nutrient-rich profile, dominated by beneficial monounsaturated fats, which contribute significantly to its reputation as a superfood.
Good to know the breakdown, but are there any downsides? Allergies, maybe?
Yes, while generally beneficial, it's crucial to address potential allergies and also toxicity issues. Some individuals can indeed have allergic reactions to avocado. There are two main forms reported. One is a milder form related to tree pollen allergy, often called oral allergy syndrome. This typically causes localized symptoms like itching or swelling in the mouth and throat shortly after eating avocado.
Annoying, but usually not severe.
Generally, yes. The other, however, is a more serious condition known as latex fruit syndrome. This is a cross-reactivity that occurs in some people who are allergic to natural rubber latex.
Latex gloves and avocados, how are they related?
It's due to similar proteins found in both latex and certain fruits, including avocado, bananas, kiwis, and chestnuts. For someone with this syndrome, eating avocado can trigger symptoms ranging from generalized urticaria, hives, and abdominal pain to vomiting. And in rare, severe cases, it can potentially be life-threatening anaphylaxis.
So people with latex allergies need to be cautious.
Definitely. And it's not just humans who need to be careful. Our sources clearly document that parts of the avocado plant, specifically the leaves, bark, skin, or the pit, are harmful or toxic to various animals.
Which animals?
The list includes common pets and livestock. Cats, dogs, cattle, goats, rabbits, rats, guinea pigs, birds, fish, and horses. They can be severely harmed or even killed by consuming these parts. The fruit flesh itself is generally considered less toxic, but still potentially problematic in large amounts. And the fruit is known to be poisonous to some species of birds. The ASTCA specifically lists avocado as toxic to horses.
What makes it toxic to them?
This toxicity is primarily attributed to a fungicidal fatty acid derivative called persin. It's found in highest concentrations in the avocado leaves, but also present in the bark, skin, and pit. Yes. In horses, consuming sufficient quantities of the persin can lead to colic, and without timely veterinary treatment, can even be fatal. Symptoms often include gastrointestinal irritation, vomiting, if the animal can, diarrhea, respiratory distress, congestion, fluid accumulation around the tissues of the heart, and mastitis in lactating animals. But birds are known to be particularly sensitive to persin's toxic effects. It's also specifically noted that the leaves of the Guatemalan variety of Persea americana seem to be particularly toxic to goats, sheep, and horses.
So the key takeaway is keep avocado plants well away from pets and livestock.
Absolutely, especially the leaves and pits.
Okay, let's transition to the exciting part. Basic culinary uses and characteristics beyond guacamole.
Right, the avocado isn't typically sweet. It possesses a distinctly subtle, almost nutty or grassy flavor, and that wonderfully smooth, creamy texture we associate with it.
That texture's key, isn't it?
It really is. This unique profile of mild flavor and rich texture means it's incredibly versatile, finding its way into both savory and sweet dishes. Though, as we'll see, traditional preferences for savory versus sweet vary significantly by country and culture.
And its high-fat content makes it popular in certain diets.
Yes, its high content of healthy fats makes it a common and very satisfying substitute for meats or other fatty ingredients in vegetarian and vegan diets. It adds richness and satiety.
How is it usually prepared? Cooked or raw?
Generally, avocado is served raw. Prolonged cooking, as we touched on, can induce a chemical reaction in all cultivars that renders the flesh unpleasantly bitter and, frankly, inedible. However, some varieties, notably the common Hass, can tolerate short cooking times like being warmed through in a dish without developing that bitterness.
Good to know. And the browning issue.
Yes, the bane of avocado prep. The flesh is highly prone to enzymatic browning quite rapidly once it's cut and exposed to air. To prevent this unsightly discoloration, a simple squeeze of acidic juice lime or lemon juice works best immediately after peeling works wonders. The ascorbic acid, vitamin C, in the juice acts as an antioxidant and inhibits the browning enzyme.
The classic guacamole trick.
Exactly. And speaking of which, the most famous use globally is undoubtedly is the base for the iconic Mexican dip, guacamole. Beyond that, it's widely spread on corn tortillas or toast, often simply mashed with various spices, salt, and lime. It's also sometimes incorporated into creamy, chilled avocado soups.
What about slices?
Slices are hugely popular. They're frequently added to hamburgers, tortas, Mexican sandwiches, and are a key defining ingredient in globally popular dishes like California rolls and other types of makizushi, rolled sushi.
How is it used internationally in savory dishes?
The savory applications are incredibly diverse. In Mexico and Central America, besides guacamole, avocados are routinely mixed into white rice, added to soups and salads, served as a fresh cooling side with grilled chicken and meat dishes, and are commonly added as a garnish to hearty pozole stew.
Okay. What about South America?
In Peru, they enjoy avocado served alongside tequeños, cheese sticks, often replacing mayonnaise as a dip, as a side dish with parillas, grilled meats, incorporated into various salads and sandwiches, or even elegantly stuffed, often with fillings like tuna salad, shrimp, or chicken salad that's called palta rellena.
Sounds delicious. Chile.
Chileans enjoy it mashed into a puree-like sauce, often served with chicken, burgers, and even hot dogs, completos. Sliced avocado is common in celery or lettuce salads, and they often include generous slices in their version of Caesar salad.
Now, the sweet uses, this is where it gets really interesting, right? The cultural contrast.
It's truly fascinating. In Brazil, for example, avocados are traditionally mashed with sugar and lime juice and simply eaten as a dessert or a snack. Savory preparations of avocado are considered quite novel or even unusual there.
The complete opposite of Mexico or California.
Exactly. And this preference for sweet uses isn't unique to Brazil. It's also found in the Philippines, which is interesting because, unlike most other former Spanish colonies where savory avocado dominates, the Philippines has a strong tradition of using avocados in sweet preparations, often viewing savory uses as the exotic ones.
So, Philippines, Brazil, where else?
This sweet tradition extends to Indonesia, Vietnam, and parts of southern India, particularly in coastal regions. In these areas, avocados are frequently blended into milkshakes, used to make ice cream, and incorporated into various other desserts. A very common dessert drink involves blending pureed avocado with sugar, milk, or water, and sometimes a swirl of chocolate syrup is added on top.
Avocado milkshake.
It's surprisingly good. Morocco offers a variation, a chilled avocado and milk drink, sweetened with confectioner sugar and delicately flavored with orange flower water. In Ethiopia, avocados are made into a simple juice with sugar and milk or water, often served with a splash of vimto, a fruit cordial, and a slice of lemon. They also create vibrant, layered fruit juices called spritz, which often feature avocado alongside mango, banana, guava, and papaya.
Sprees, that sounds colorful.
It is. In Sri Lanka, ripe avocado flesh is commonly mashed or pureed with milk and kittle treacle, a type of jaggery or palm sugar, as a popular dessert. And in Haiti, it's commonly consumed mashed with cassava bread or regular bread, often for breakfast.
It's amazing how one fruit can be viewed so differently. What about Europe and down under?
The avocado's journey into European markets like the UK really took off in the 1960s, initially marketed as avocado pear. Its widespread success there is often attributed, at least in part, to a long-running and effective promotional campaign by South African growers that began around 1995.
Marketing works.
It certainly helped build familiarity and demand. In Australia and New Zealand, avocado is now a staple. It's commonly served on sandwiches, in sushi, mashed on toast, avo toast being practically a cultural icon there, or as an accompaniment to chicken dishes.
And it's not just the fruit that finds culinary use. You mentioned leaves earlier.
Correct. The leaves of the Mexican avocado species, specifically Persea americana var. Dromifolia, are actually used as a spice in some regional Mexican cuisines. They impart a distinct anise-like or licorice flavor.
How are they used?
They're sold dried or sometimes fresh, and are often toasted lightly before use to enhance their aroma. They can then be crumbled or used whole, particularly finding their way into slow-cooked bean dishes like black beans, where they add a unique background flavor.
Fascinating. One last thing before the deep dive into preservations. Avocado oil.
Right, avocado oil. It's extracted from the pulp of the avocado and is known for being nutrient-rich. It can be somewhat costly to produce compared to other oils because you need a lot of avocados given their high water content alongside the oil. However, it boasts a high smoke point, making it very versatile for both high heat cooking and things like salad dressings. It's also used widely in cosmetics and soap production due to its moisturizing properties.
And health research continues on it.
Yes, research continues to uncover its health benefits. A particularly significant study published in 2022, a large prospective cohort study that tracked over 110,000 people for 30 years, found some compelling results.
What did they find?
They found that consuming about 2 servings of avocado per week was associated with a reduced risk of cardiovascular disease by about 16–22%. This benefit was particularly notable when avocado replaced about half a daily serving of less healthy saturated fat sources, such as margarine, butter, eggs, yogurt, cheese, or processed meats.
So substituting avocado for those things showed a benefit.
Exactly. Studies like this continue to affirm the avocado's place as a nutrient-dense food with potential heart health benefits when incorporated into a balanced diet.
Okay, now get ready to truly elevate your understanding of avocado's culinary potential. We're about to explore the concept behind avocado's emerald spectrum, 22 culinary preservations.
This is where it gets really creative. Our source describes the avocado as, quote, nature's verdant masterpiece, offering a complete chromatic journey that stretches visually from the palest, most delicate sage whispers to the deepest, richest forest shadows.
A chromatic journey, I like that.
This concept really invites us to see the avocado not just as a fruit, but almost as an artist's palette, loaded with every conceivable shade of green, just waiting to be transformed through culinary technique.
So these 22 methods are like different ways of painting with avocado.
That's a great way to put it. Through these 22 distinct preservation techniques, each method is designed to reveal different hues, different depths, and complex characters of the avocado. Each one aims to paint a unique portrait within what the source calls the magnificent spectrum of avocado possibilities.
And this connects to the idea of fruit spreads, too.
Yes, this deep dive into avocado preservation aligns perfectly with the broader culinary philosophy we see in sources like Spread M, the complete guide to homemade fruit spread, where fruits, in general, are transformed into jars of pure homemade magic and become a canvas for endless creativity. Avocado just offers a particularly unique green canvas.
We've established that the avocado is a fruit of incredible versatility, and these preservation techniques really seem to underscore that. Now, while we can't go through every single precise recipe step here today that would take hours, we want to give you, our listener, a really solid instructional overview of the types of transformations possible.
Exactly. We want to highlight some truly distinct examples and explain the concept and technique behind each preservation type described in the Emerald Spectrum source. Think of this as an expert guide to understanding the potential of these preservations. All the in-depth, step-by-step recipes are waiting for you in the source material for your own kitchen experiments if you're feeling adventurous.
Perfect. The goal is to grasp the sheer scope of what's achievable with avocado beyond the usual. These techniques aren't just about extending shelf life, right? They're about unlocking entirely new flavors, textures, and visual experiences.
Precisely. They treat the avocado as a culinary ingredient capable of profound transformation. Let's maybe group them by their primary culinary impact to get a handle on the range. How about we start with savory and spice-infused preparations?
Good idea. These leverage the avocado's relatively mild flavor to absorb powerful spices, creating really vibrant and often unexpected results, I imagine.
Absolutely. Let's begin with number 1, avocado achar. This is an Indian-inspired preservation, like a pickle or relish.
Achar. Okay, what's
Yeah.
involved?
Here, you take firm avocado cubes and infuse them with a medley of classic Indian spices. Think black mustard seeds, fenugreek seeds, turmeric, coriander, red chili powder, maybe some asafoetida, fresh ginger, green chilies. All gently bloomed in hot mustard oil, then cooled before the avocado is added. There might also be jaggery for sweetness and tamarind paste for tang.
And the color, the spectrum aspect.
The source describes the result as a stunning emerald mosaic. The golden turmeric creates brilliant amber streaks through the jade green avocado cubes. Black mustard seeds add little obsidian dots, and the red chili powder introduces hints of sunset coral. It's preserved in the oil, creating this vibrant, jewel-toned condiment.
Wow, visually striking. And the technique focus.
The key technique is carefully heating the mustard oil until it just smokes, cooling it slightly, then tempering the whole spices like mustard seeds and maybe a bay leaf until they're fragrant. Then you add the ground spices to create this saffron orange-infused oil. The crucial part is gently folding in the avocado cubes at the end, just to coat them, maintaining their structural integrity and that core emerald color within the golden preservation medium.
Got it. Performance stats mentioned.
Yes, roughly 195 calories per serving, about 18 g carbs, 12 g from sugar jaggery, 6 g fiber, 14 g healthy fats, and because it involves spices like turmeric, and sometimes fermentation elements depending on the recipe. It's noted as rich in potential anti-inflammatory compounds and possibly probiotics.
And applications, how would you use it?
The source suggests using it as a sunset-colored accompaniment to curries, a golden green garnish for plain rice, or a vibrant jewel-toned condiment alongside flatbreads like roti or naan, really showcasing those colors.
Okay, that's one. What's another savory example? How about number 18, avocado mostarda?
Mostarda. That's traditionally an Italian fruit condiment preserved in a mustard-flavored syrup, usually made with fruits like figs or pears.
So an avocado version.
Exactly. This method suspends cubed jade green avocado in a shimmering golden mustard syrup. The visual is all about the striking contrast between the cool green avocado and the warm, intense gold of the syrup. Ingredients would include sugar, white wine vinegar, Dijon mustard, whole mustard seeds, yellow mustard powder, maybe bay leaves, ginger, and turmeric for that color.
So sweet, sour, and pungent from the mustard.
Precisely.
Mm.
The technique involves creating that golden mustard syrup base first, getting the balance of sweet, sour, and heat right. Then, similar to the achar, you gently fold in the firm avocado cubes to maintain their jade integrity while thoroughly coating them in that brilliant yellow preservation medium. Mustard seeds add textural pops of yellow throughout. Around 225 calories per serving, 32G carbs, mostly sugar, 30G, 5G fiber, 9 g healthy fats.
And serving ideas.
It's suggested to serve it with cured meats, like prosciutto or salami, for that dramatic jade gold color contrast. It would also be a colorful, unexpected condiment on a cheese board, or a sophisticated accompaniment to Italian antipasti platters.
Two very different savory takes. What about number 2, avocado chutney? Is it similar to achar?
Similar concept, but distinct flavor profile and texture. Avocado chutney combines deep forest green mashed or slightly chunky avocado with ingredients like finely diced red onion, which cooks down to a burgundy copper color, maybe dried cranberries for ruby notes, apple cider vinegar for tang, brown sugar for depth, fresh ginger, and spices like yellow mustard seeds, cumin, smoked paprika for russet undertones, cinnamon, and maybe a touch of cayenne. Toasted walnuts might be added for texture.
An autumn-inspired palette, it sounds like.
Exactly what the source says, autumn-inspired. The technique involves sautéing the onions first to a deep amber, then adding the avocado and cooking it just briefly, just until warmed through. The key is maintaining that verdant avocado color while developing those sweet, sour, spicy layers.
The stats and uses.
About 175 calories, 28G carbs, 22G sugar, 5G fiber, 7G fats. Suggested pairings include copper-colored grilled meats alongside golden curries or as a forest green accent on cheese boards.
And number 8, avocado fermented fruit. This sounds different.
Very different. This taps into the world of lacto-fermentation. You take firm avocado cubes and submerge them in a salt brine, potentially with a little raw honey, filtered water, and a starter culture like whey or brine from a previous ferment. Flavorings like fresh dill, garlic cloves, and black peppercorns are added.
So like making sauerkraut or kimchi, but with avocado.
Similar principle. Over 3 or 7 days, natural fermentation occurs. The jade avocado cubes develop a kind of olive green patina, and the brine itself takes on a sea glass transparency, sometimes with a probiotic shimmer. Dill adds forest green accents. The key technique is creating the proper salt concentration in the brine to encourage beneficial bacteria and inhibit spoilage, allowing that complex olive green coloring to develop naturally.
Intriguing. Nutrition must be different here.
Yes, lower calorie, around 125, lower carb, 12G, only 2G sugar, 6G fiber, 8G fats, plus the benefit of live probiotics from the fermentation.
How would you use fermented avocado?
As an olive green garnish for Mediterranean dishes, maybe using the brine itself as a sea-colored cocktail ingredient, like a dirty martini variation, or simply as a tangy, probiotic-rich appetizer, perhaps paired with contrasting bright colors like cherry tomatoes.
Okay, that covers some diverse savory ground. Let's move to the other end of the spectrum, sweet spreads and dessert bases. This feels less intuitive for avocado in many cultures.
It does, but its creaminess really lends itself to this. Let's look at number 6, avocado curd. We usually think of lemon curds or lime curd.
Right, tartan yellow or pale green.
Here, avocado puree forms the base. It's cooked gently with large egg yolks, whisked to pale gold first, unsalted butter, superfine sugar, fresh lime juice, and zest for brightness, maybe vanilla extract, and a pinch of salt. The source describes the color transformation beautifully. The initial chartreuse avocado puree transforms into a luminous yellow-green silk, shifting subtly between lime green and buttery yellow, depending on the light.
So richer and maybe greener than a standard lime curd.
Exactly. The technique emphasizes careful temperature control. You slowly incorporate the warm avocado puree into the whisked egg yolks while maintaining the perfect gentle heat, likely over a double boiler, to achieve that chartreuse silk texture without scrambling the eggs or breaking the emulsion.
Stats and uses for avocado curd.
Around 220 calories, 20 grain carbs, 18 green sugar, 3G fiber, 15 green healthy fats from the avocado and butter. Applications include filling pale pastry shells for a lovely color contrast, creating graduated green layers in parfaits, or serving as a vibrant base for other lime-flavored desserts.
Sounds decadent. What about number 7, avocado dulce? Dulce makes me think of dulce de leche.
It seems inspired by that long, slow cooking process. Here, avocado flesh is cooked very slowly with whole milk, heavy cream, brown sugar, vanilla extract, and warming spices like cinnamon and nutmeg, plus salt.
So, cooking avocado with dairy for a long time, doesn't it get bitter?
Apparently, the very slow cooking over low heat for potentially hours, combined with the dairy and sugar, prevents bitterness and allows the natural sugars to caramelize. The color changes dramatically. The initial sage-toned avocado slowly transforms through the milk and cream into a sophisticated taupe green or brownish green. The brown sugar creates distinct caramel and bronze highlights throughout. It's described as developing complex earth tone variations.
Almost like a green dulce de leche.
That seems to be the idea. Stats: 265 calories, 32G carbs, 28 green sugar, 4G fiber, 16G healthy fats. Uses: serve in small portions to highlight that unusual color sophistication, used as an earth tone filling for pastries, or as a bronze-green accent alongside bright tropical fruit desserts for contrast.
Let's quickly touch on a few other sweet ones. Number 3, avocado compote. Sounds lighter.
Much lighter. This involves ripe avocado cubes gently warmed in an opalescent white wine reduction, sweetened with honey and flavored with fresh mint leaves, lime juice, vanilla, and a hint of white pepper. Toasted pine nuts add texture. The colors are pale sage avocado, emerald mint confetti, and ivory pine nuts described as sophisticated monochromatic green-white. Technique is just warming gently to preserve the delicate sage color. Stats: 145 cal, 15G carbs, 13G sugar, 4G fiber, 9G fats. Use over vanilla ice cream or layered in glass bowls. Okay. Number 9, avocado fruit butter, like apple butter. Similar concept: long, slow cooking to concentrate flavors and create a smooth spread. Here, avocado flesh is cooked down with maple syrup, coconut oil, vanilla, cinnamon, ginger, cloves, and salt. The color deepens significantly, concentrating from forest green into rich, velvety shadows. Maple adds amber highlights, spices add warm earth tones. Technique is very low heat for hours, concentrating oils and developing complex brown-green depths reminiscent of forest floors. Stats: 165 cal, 18G carbs, 12G sugar, 6G fiber, 11G fats. Use on light bread to show off the dark color, swirl into oatmeal.
And avocado jam. Number 15.
This one is described as chunky. Avocado chunks are cooked with diced strawberries for ruby color, raw sugar, lime juice and zest, vanilla, and ground ginger. The visual is chunky emerald avocado pieces studded with ruby strawberry jewels, creating a marbled emerald ruby effect. Technique is cooking gently to keep avocado green while strawberries bleed pink. Stats: 215 cal, 35D carbs, 32G sugar, 6G fiber, 8G fats. Spread thick to show texture, uses pastry filling.
What about avocado preserves? Number 19. How's that different from jam?
Preserves typically feature larger pieces of fruit suspended in syrup. Here, large diced avocado chunks maintain their architectural integrity, suspended in a crystal-clear light agave syrup flavored with lime juice, zest, and vanilla bean. The visual emphasis is on the distinct, visible jade chunks. Technique involves gentle cooking to maintain shape while developing a clear syrup. Stats: 195 cal, 28G carbs, 25G sugar, 6G fiber, 8G fats. Display in clear jars, uses elegant topping.
And a non-traditional avocado marmalade. Number 17.
Right, since avocado doesn't have the peel structure for traditional marmalade, this is described as a citrus fusion alternative. Diced avocado is gently cooked with segmented limes and lemons, including zest, sugar, water, and fresh mint. It creates a lime green base with bright citrus segments suspended throughout, giving a marmalade-like appearance with a tropical twist. Stats: 205 cal, 38G carbs, 35G sugar, 6G fiber, 8G fats. Use on toast or with breakfast items. Finally, in the sweet category, some liquids: avocado syrup, 22, and avocado fruit sauce, 12. Yes, avocado syrup uses avocado puree blended with sugar, water, lime juice, vanilla, and a little xanthan gum for texture. The goal is a liquid jade syrup with perfect pourability and brilliant emerald coloring, like pancake syrup consistency. Technique involves balancing sugar and puree for flow while maintaining color. Stats: 145 cal, 28 carbs, 26G sugar, 4G fiber, 6G fats. Drizzle on pancakes, uses dessert base. Avocado fruit sauce is similar but uses coconut milk instead of water, along with agave nectar, lime juice zest, vanilla, and cardamom. This creates a jade velvet sauce with a pearl-like luminescence from the coconut milk. It's a sophisticated pale green that flows like liquid silk. Technique is blending until perfectly smooth. Stats: 135 cal, 18G carbs, 14G sugar, 5G fiber, 9G fats. Drizzle over white desserts, create sauce pools on plates.
Okay, a huge range of sweet possibilities. Lastly, let's explore the textural and modernist creations. These sound like they push the boundaries even further.
They really do, focusing on transforming the avocado's physical form. Let's start with number 4, avocado confit.
Confit usually means slow cooking in fat, right? Like duck confit.
Exactly the principle. Here, firm avocado halves are submerged in extra virgin olive oil, along with aromatics like garlic cloves, fresh thyme, bay leaves, lemon zest, black peppercorns, and sea salt. The key is the precise low temperature. The oil is heated to exactly 140 degrees F, 60 degrees C, and maintained there for about 45 minutes.
Why that specific temperature and time?
It's hot enough to cook the avocado gently, making it incredibly silky and tender, but low enough to perfectly preserve the integrity of its emerald color without turning it brown or mushy. The result is jade avocado infused with the golden flavors of the oil and aromatics.
Luxurious. Stats.
Higher fat, naturally. Around 285 calories, 8G carbs, one got you okay, 6G fiber, and 28G healthy fats, mostly from the avocado and olive oil. Suggested uses: slice to reveal the beautiful golden jade cross-sections, serve on golden toast, or use as a luxurious green accent in Mediterranean dishes.
Very cool. Now, for something really cutting edge, number 14, avocado gel. This sounds like molecular gastronomy.
It definitely leans that way. This method focuses on scientific precision to create a laboratory-perfect green gel with exact color consistency. It typically uses avocado puree blended with a gelling agent like agar powder, plus lime juice for brightness, salt, and maybe a stabilizer like xanthan gum.
So turning avocado puree into a firm gel.
Yes, the technique emphasizes using precision measurements, gram-specific temperatures, to hydrate and set the gelling agent correctly, creating a perfectly uniform gel texture while maintaining that exact vibrant green color throughout the molecular structure. It's about control and achieving a specific aesthetic.
Nutrition and uses.
Lower calorie, around 85, 12G carbs, 1G sugar, 6G fiber, 6G fats. Applications are all about presentation. Cut into precise geometric shapes, cubes, diamonds, create uniform spheres or caviar for molecular plating, or use for exact color matching in modernist compositions.
Okay, that's high tech. What about number 10, avocado fruit leather, like the kind kids eat?
Similar process, but with avocado. Pure avocado puree is blended with just fresh lime juice, maybe a little honey for pliability, lime zest, and salt. This pure jade puree is then spread very thinly and evenly onto dehydrator sheets.
And just dried slowly.
Exactly. The technique is all about spreading it thinly to maintain even color distribution and then slowly removing the moisture in a dehydrator at a low temperature. This transforms the puree into flexible, pliable sheets with a kind of stained glass transparency, maintaining a brilliant green coloration.
Flexible green sheets. Stats and uses.
Around 95 calories per serving, depends on size. 14G carbs, 8H sugar, 6G fiber, 4G fats. Uses are very visual. Cut into geometric shapes to highlight that transparency, layer pieces for gradient green effects, or roll into jade spirals for artistic food presentations.
Number 11, avocado fruit paste. Is that like quince paste? Membro?
Very similar idea, a firm sliceable paste. Avocado puree is cooked down with granulated sugar, fresh lemon juice for set and color, a setting agent like agar powder, stronger than pectin needed here, and vanilla extract.
So cooking until very thick.
Yes. The technique involves cooking the avocado and sugar mixture until it reaches a very firm consistency, like a thick fudge that will set solid when cooled. Careful temperature control and the acid balance from the lemon juice are key to maintaining a vibrant green color throughout this concentration process. The result is described as having emerald intensity and jewel-like depth.
Sliceable green gems. Nutrition.
Higher sugar, around 195 calories, 32G carbs, 28G sugar, 4G fiber, 8G healthy fats. Applications: cut into perfect emerald squares or diamonds for geometric presentations, slice very thinly for translucent green layers between other elements, or even mold into gem shapes for artistic displays.
Let's cover the last few textural ones. Avocado jelly, number 16, like grape jelly.
But clear and green. This aims for crystal jade transparency. It starts with extracted avocado juice, the clear liquid essence, likely obtained through pressing and multiple filtration stages to remove all solids. This clear juice is then combined with something like white grape juice for body and clarity, superfine sugar, powdered pectin for setting, fresh lime juice, and ascorbic acid, vitamin C powder, to preserve that delicate jade coloring.
So the key is getting clear avocado juice first.
Absolutely. The technique focuses on that careful extraction and filtration, then precise gelling to maintain perfect transparency while preserving the pale green luminescence reminiscent of sea glass or precious jade stones.
Stats and uses.
High sugar, low fat, around 185 calories, 48 g carbs, 45 g sugar, only 1 g fiber, 2 g fats. Uses. Showcases transparency in clear glass vessels, create layered effects with other colored jellies, or use as a crystal clear glaze for light-colored desserts or pastries.
Number 13, avocado gastrique. Gastriques are usually sweet and sour sauces, right?
Correct. Often served with savory dishes. This one involves avocado puree, but it starts by caramelizing granulated sugar to a perfect amber color. This golden caramel creates a bronze foundation. It's then carefully deglazed with champagne vinegar, creating amber clarity before the emerald avocado puree is whisked in, possibly with fresh thyme, honey, and black pepper.
So caramel, vinegar, and avocado.
Yes, creating what the source calls a sophisticated bronze-green fusion with glossy, almost metallic highlights. The technique is mastering that initial caramelization and deglazing before incorporating the avocado smoothly.
Nutrition and uses.
Around 115 calories, 18 g carbs, 17 g sugar, 2 g fiber, 5 g fats. Applications. Glazed meats like duck or pork for a unique bronze-green finish, drizzle over roasted vegetables for metallic accents, or use as a sophisticated sauce component in savory plated dishes.
2 left. Avocado reduction, number 20.
This focuses on pure concentration. It starts with fresh avocado juice, likely filtered, similar to the jelly, and slowly reduces it over controlled heat with just fresh lime juice, maybe a touch of honey, and salt. The goal is to concentrate the color and flavor intensely without burning it.
What's the result like?
A liquid forest green with incredible color intensity. It achieves a syrup-like consistency while maintaining brilliant jade coloration. It's described as liquid jade or forest concentrate.
Stats and uses.
Around 165 calories, 18 g carbs, 14 g sugar, 4 g fiber, 12 g healthy fats concentrated from the juice. Uses. Drizzle for intense green color accents on plates. Use as a concentrated flavor base for cocktails or vinaigrettes, or as a liquid jade garnish for artistic plating.
And finally, number 21, avocado shrub. Shrubs are drinking vinegars, aren't they?
Exactly. This takes avocado puree and macerates it with granulated sugar to draw out moisture and color. This sweet puree is then blended with rice vinegar and infused with fresh herbs like basil, mint, and maybe fresh lime leaves. It undergoes a short fermentation or aging process.
Creating a green drinking vinegar.
Precisely. The emerald avocado transforms through the vinegar and sugar into a brilliant jade concentrate with complex herb green highlights. It's described as a sophisticated drinking vinegar with complex color depth. The technique involves maximizing color extraction through the initial sugar maceration, called oleosaccharum if done with zest, before blending with vinegar and herbs.
Nutrition and applications.
Stats are usually given for the concentrate, around 95 calories, 24 g carbs, 23 g sugar, 1 g fiber, 2 g fats per serving of concentrate. Applications. Mix it with sparkling water for vibrant jade-colored non-alcoholic beverages. Use as a unique acidic and colorful component in cocktails, or add green accent drops for artistic drink presentations.
Wow, that is an incredible spectrum, from savory pickles to sweet jams to modernist gels and even drinks.
It truly demonstrates the avocado's potential far beyond its raw state.
So as you can hear, the Emerald Spectrum isn't just a clever name. It's a culinary philosophy that truly unlocks the avocado's diverse potential through these 22 distinct methods. While we've only been able to give a conceptual overview and highlight key techniques today, we hope we've painted a picture of the possibilities. For those who want to dive deeper into the precise how-to and detailed recipes, remember the full Avocado's Emerald Spectrum, 22 culinary preservations, source material is where you'll find all those specifics.
It's a testament to culinary creativity meeting botanical potential.
Wow, we've truly completed an unprecedented deep dive into the avocado today, from its incredibly deep roots in Mesoamerican history and its fascinating botanical peculiarities.
The berry thing still gets me.
Right, through the complexities and frankly the challenges of global cultivation and its societal impacts, and finally landing in this exquisite emerald spectrum of culinary possibilities we just explored.
We've really seen it evolve, haven't we? From an ancient food source, perhaps dispersed by megafauna, to a modern global superfood that's continually inspiring innovation in both preservation and presentation.
Absolutely. And hopefully you, our curious listener, now have a much more comprehensive understanding of this remarkable fruit. You're equipped not just with facts about its history and botany, but with practical instructional insights into how its unique properties allow for such stunning and diverse culinary transformations.
This really does go far beyond just knowing how to mash it for guacamole, doesn't it?
Hmm.
You've hopefully uncovered some of the science, the history, and the sheer art behind every single bite or every preserved spoonful.
So, what does this all mean for you, listening now? As avocado's global demand continues its relentless climb, potentially making it the world's most traded fruit in the near future, how might our newfound appreciation for its incredible versatility, especially these diverse preservation techniques, influence its sustainable future?
That's a really important question to consider. Could exploring and valuing these methods, which perhaps utilize avocados in different stages of ripeness or offer longer shelf life, also encourage more mindful consumption?
Could our innovative approaches to enjoying the avocado, moving beyond just fresh slices on toast, also somehow nudge us towards more sustainable production practices worldwide, ensuring that this emerald gem, this incredibly versatile fruit, remains a source of delight and sustenance for generations to come without costing the earth quite so much?
It's definitely something to think about. Can our culinary creativity help foster environmental responsibility? A provocative thought to end on.